Welcome, everybody, to what is going to be an absolutely great race. We hope you guys can join us, participate in the chat. We're about to go live in just a second. Ah, the camera shake. Welcome, everybody, to the inaugural Season 3 broadcast. You're seeing Rick John going around in the protocharged sim racing car, setting a lap time. As always, it is absolute pleasure to have you guys in. Casey Howe, obviously, getting the first message in of the stream. How you doing? As always, by the way. Oh, Nathan joined us. As always, I'm joined by the freshest of men. I am joined by Craig King, as always. How are we?
Oh, good evening, Rob. I am doing fine, Dante, and I cannot wait for another season of ILMS on Radio on TV. How's that for a plug?
You got it right the first time. I'm proud of you.
Got it right the first time. I'm just having some watching while we get into the action, and the cars are finishing their last laps. Rick Jonk, I just want to point out the ILMS sweepstakes runner-up last season, Rick Jonk. A 141.6 in his first lap of qualifying because he decided that he was going to play slalom on the hangar straight. Not sure why, but he's coming around club right now, and let's see what happens if he comes through. And he just decides, yeah, I'm going to smash everybody, apart from his teammate Ben Snemefi, who actually gets ahead of him by 0.2 of a second. So that's going to be an interesting start here with the two PCS guys in the front row.
I mean, the PCS guys are always competitive. I mean, they really have stepped up their game in the last little while. Well, I mean, they always have their game on point, but then they have it even more on point. As he finishes his qualifying lap.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like an A game, but like they got a triple A game. You know what I mean?
A triple A game.
Yeah, it's a triple A game, and he finishes his qualifying with just an okay. I don't know if that's him fine with his slap, or not happy that his teammate decided I'm going to beat you, but yeah, finishes it with an okay. So we'll just go over the top. There are 10 cars in the LMP1 class. We'll just go over them because they've all set their laps or not set their laps. Benson Amefi, we mentioned, pole, 138.64. Ismail Yakubu just decided, I want to come in with a 138.641. 1,000th of a second behind Benson Amefi. Rick Jock then goes into third place with a 38.838, which looks a bit trivial now for him. Ruslan Baramivklov, and I'm going to butcher that name all night, 139.359. Will Lyon, a 139.972. Josh Mills, a 140.586. Jake Browning with a 141.7. Phoenix Lee with a 142.075. Stephen Regina, the fastest pork and the last guy to set a time, a 142.646. And then we've got Max Kronia, who is out there at the moment. I think he'll get a lap time. He's really throwing that car around. He might get a lap time in here, but he's got 30 seconds to get down hangar. I can't see it, so he will not qualify. He'll go to the back of the grid for LMP1. And Oliver Coker as well. Can they get from here, from hangar to the finish line in 25 seconds? I'm not entirely sure.
They can make it. They can make it. He's got to believe. Anyway, let's go through the LMP2s. We have in first position, we have Daniel Kraft with a 146.222, triple twos. We have... Oh, he just posted a time, so he did make it. He did actually make it.
Yeah, they both made it. Anyway, you were saying about the HPDs.
I was saying about the HPDs. It is Navarro with a 146.794. Newman the second with a 146.876. I think that's Paul. Yeah, Paul Van Loen with a 147.386. As we go down the list, Jamie Lee Mayers, he's the winner. I think he was the winner of the sweepstakes, the $20 sweepstakes, which is running again, by the way, for this season. He was the inaugural winner with a 148.3. He's in fifth position. Labarov, he is in sixth position, 148.146. Warren, 148.598. Olsen with a 148.6. And the rounding off of the LMP2s that qualified, Helen Goroch with a 149.061. Gonzalez the second with a 149.709.
Thankfully, all the GCEs did qualify, so as they are getting ready to grid up, I'm going to do this fast, but not too fast. Dmitry Kofanov with a 155.727 takes pole. Blainat, a 55.897. Sandy Mitchell, 56.087. Mateus Narcisco, 156.279. John Halliwell, a 56.355. Oliver Brandt, 56.599. Nick Bush, 56.653. Kevin Bellens, 56.973. Patrick Kluge, a 57.08 time. Bruno Huka, a 57.091. Lucas Winter, 57.443. Daniel Handover, 57.536. Aurelien Verche, a 57.865. Jeffrey Langerak, a 58.229. And bringing up the rear for everybody, Ari Niemann, a 2-minute .127. So it must have been a bit of a bad lap there, but the only lap he could have got in. So that's our rundown. I will say, you're noticing it's an Audi Cup at the moment. The Porsche has been obliterated in the latest BOPs. So F's in the chat ready for the pork.
By the way, while they are coming around, just want to give a shout out to Nathan A. Moore, who has kindly asked us to be the official broadcaster for the Endurance Racing Online series. We will be participating in that as the official broadcaster. First event is on the 4th of July. Registration is open right now if you want to participate. As they come around the final corner onto the start-finish line, they are away as we have our Rick Jonk, I think that's Rick Jonk, and Jacobu side by side going into Abbey, coming through Farm Curve. They have no incidents so far. It's a top 3 for PCS, 1, 2, 3 for PCS. No incidents so far. Nice and clean through the new section of Silverstone, past the loop, onto Aintree, onto the Wellington Straight. Let's have a look at the HPDs.
Oh, I just want to say, just before we go to the HPD, Dmitry Kopanov has gone off at the farm curve. Yes, the farm curve, and he is still spinning. I don't know what happened there, but he has quick picked it up there. The leader of the GTEs is in the back now. I just want to see what happened. Did he catch a bit too much of that curve? I think he caught a bit too much. Yeah, caught too much coming into Abbey and just lost it. Was doing a 270, a 720. He is at the back of the GTE field. Sorry to cut in there. He will have to work all the way back, but he is the #1 car. So if anybody can do it, it will be Dimitri, and we have seen him do it before.
Well, he's got a lot to pick up. It's very disheartening when you have a mistake on the first lap, and especially a mistake like that where it's just, oh, the car is having a spin.
Oh, and you know what? P2 got punted going into Village. Juan Blainat got punted going into Village. I don't think there's a lot of damage. He's now running P9, so the leaders in the GTE class already are down. And Sandy Mitchell, who is P3, it's still P3. You would have thought he would have taken the lead. Mateus Narcisco has the lead now for the GTEs, with Nick Bush going into P2 after that. So a crazy start to the race here. And we've got a damaged HPD. I'm not entirely sure. No, it's an HPD that went off with a slowdown, which is Maho Wehan there. So it's all happening. Actually, he's slow. Yeah, he's having a slowdown. Sorry. So it's all happening right now in the GTEs.
Car number 11, car number 18, side by side. They were side by side on the old section of the course, coming down now into Club, just past Vale. See, I'm getting my corner names right this time, I think. I am.
Vale then Clubs. Vale then Club. Vale's
yes.
Straight and it's Club.
Yeah, I got it right. I got it right. But Sam Mitchell, or sorry, not Sam Mitchell, Sandy Mitchell is in third position chasing Bush. They were side by side, and it is quite tight racing in the GTEs. Apart from the incident at the very start, they seem to be all rosy at the moment. Not a lot of damage on the cars that had the incidents, by the way, so let's see what action they can give us. There's a Gaggle of 4, a BMW, a Ferrari, number 11, number 18, number 25, number 22. Front and center of your screens. They are now coming around Brooklands onto Luffield, and they will be, I think Mitchell will try again. He tried it on the old section of the circuit, just coming past Beckett onto Chapel. He tried getting a side-by-side on the Hangar Straight. Let's see if he can have another good run in the old section of the course. As they...
Oh, he's got a good run. He has got a good run. That Nick Bosch, a little bit of a slide there in the M8. He won't be able to do anything coming from Mackett's and Beckett's, but if he can get a good launch out of Beckett's, like you said, into Chapel, he might have a go on the run, because Bosch will lose a bit of the slipstream here. In fact, he has. Great run here by Mitchell. Looks like we could get some side-by-side going into Stowe. Let's keep an eye on this right now. But I think Narcisco had a bad entrance, yeah. So the slipstream is just going to hold there, but Mitchell wants to make it, decides not to, decides to hold around the outside. Will he go for a good run around Stowe? Needs a good run, has a good run, but he's held up. The line that he wants is held up for Bosch. Will he do a cut around? No, Bosch again with the defending as they come down into Club, and it is still Bosch, and that's some good defending there with the assistance of some slipstream. But at the same time, these two are now pulling away from Halliwell a little bit, so great work there by Bosch there with the defending, and Mitchell just sticking with him, and maybe these two can just work together now.
Work together to catch up to P1, Narisco. He's got a little bit of a gap. It's still under a second, so Bosch still has the slipstream. Oh, as Bosch, or sadly Mitchell goes on the inside in the village, and he's sealed it going through the loop as they come on to Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. Bosch has he's lost another position. He lost a position to Halliwell as well, coming through Aintree. So Bosch in two corners has lost that many places.
Bosch had a bit of a mistake there coming out of the loop there onto Aintree. He was actually on the dirt. He was on the gravel. So he lost a bit of time there trying to accelerate out the gravel. So could have actually held that place in P3, but just that move there on the gravel just cost him there. So now Mitchell is unleashed. What can he do to catch up to Narcisco? I don't think he'll be able to. Well, I say that. He's actually the fastest car on track at the moment. Alright, it's the first lap, but it's a second lap. It's a 57.2 versus a 57.4, so he has a chance. Now, while we look at this, we've got other classes. Let's keep an eye on the one car at the moment. Dmitry Kofanov has made 2 places up, and that's all he's made. He is slowly catching car 28, Patrick Kluge, but it's going to take him a while. And now the gap between him, at the line, the gap between him and the top was 10 seconds. That's not exactly easy to make up on this track, so maybe he can recovery drive for a podium, but I think that's it. So we've had a bit of fun here with the GTE. So we have a look at the rest.
Let's have a look at the P2s, because I remember we were going to go to them, and then we were just like, GTEs are so much nicer, aren't they? Let's go to this man, Navarro. Navarro was P1, if I remember correctly. He was the starting... Was he not? I understand correctly.
Nope. Then. Top 4 have not changed position. Last season's champion Jamie Lee Mayers lost P5 at the start and is now running P6. But apart from that, the top 4 are pretty much identical. So you've got Newman here trying to catch up onto the slipstream with Navarro, and that would be the key right now. If he can just hold on, he is a little bit slower. The lap times were a little bit slower, but if he can hold on, coming through Chapel here, sorry, not Chapel, Beckett into Chapel onto the Hangar Straight, is losing a bit of time, but at the moment this looks to be the battle. Jamie Lee Mayers, sorry, I do correct you. Jamie Lee Mayers has got the slipstream on Johan Hillerbarov. Can he make a move into Stowe? Goes into the inside, makes it look easy, gets a little bit of a tap because he was a little bit slower, but does make the move stick. Down he goes into Vale, will hold it through the first part of Club, hold it through the second part, and he makes a nice little move there to get his P5 back.
A very nice move going into Stowe, making it stick, by the way. That was very difficult. He could have been overtaken with the slow exit he had. He just clipped the inside curb of Abbey, and there was a little bit of grass thrown up, but not too much drama here for Mayers. He is the winner, so he technically is the champion of the Radeon TV sweepstakes, so he's got all to lose if he doesn't get a good start in the championship.
I just want to say as well, our GTE champions, we had a tie for the GTE championship, just to let people know. We had Andrei Melchers and Sergei Smirnov. They both ended up on the same amount of points, so they both won the sweepstakes. Neither of them are racing today, and neither is our LMP1 champion, Connor Pearson. His teammate Josh Mills is racing, but that means nothing. He's just a teammate. Sorry, Josh, who's currently running P5. But yeah, Connor Pearson won the overall, and anyone can do it, really. I'm not saying if Connor can do it, anyone can do it. I'm just saying anyone can take part and have a go in these broadcast splits, and just have a go. It's 13 weeks this season, so you've got all the time in the world.
Sorry, I had to take a moment to laugh. The way that you said that was such incriminating. It's like, oh yeah, Connor Pearson and his Audi.
Yeah. Anyone can do it. It's Connor Pearson. No, Connor Pearson earned that with great drives, just great steady drives, nothing too dangerous. I always mentioned that he was a very, very clean driver, very safe driver. When he had to take the risk near the end of the season, he was taking the risk when he had to. So a very well-deserved championship there for him. So good for him. I'll tell you, there is a championship going for 4th place here in the GTEs, if you feel like it. It's a Sandy Mitchell. Actually, no, I want to say that, but at the same time, I actually want to look at, because I just realised the LMP1s are going through the traffic. I did not realize.
Ooh, Rick Junk almost ran into the back of, I think that is the car that we were discussing just then. The P5 of the GTE field almost had a collision going through Beckett's, of all places.
Rick goes around the outside and goes for the argument's sake out to the fail. You are kidding me, Rick Junk. You are kidding me. He went around the outside at Stone in GTE car while he's catching his teammate Bez Nemefi. He goes down to Vale. He goes past another GTE and he sticks it with a late brake to make the overtake for the lead into club. If that's not a top 10 moment, I don't know what is.
What happened to Jake? Indeed, what happened to Jake Browning? He was I think he was the 4th driver. Sorry, there was 4 PCS drivers, including Yakubu, Nemehi, and Junk. What happened? Let's see if we can get that as we see the cars coming down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. Junk does not wait around. Junk is the chunk. He will chunk you. A teammate or no teammate, he will chunk you. Anyways, let us try and investigate Browning's why is he last? He was definitely, I think it was 5th or 6th on the grid, and he is now 11th.
Yeah, I tried looking. I do not have any replay of what happened, so I cannot give any information there. It was a bit of a shame. That's the way it goes with iRacing. No, but you haven't got 60 people. You haven't got 60 cars enabled. I've got 60 cars enabled. It still doesn't love me. It doesn't love me. It's like my ex. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Back to the LMP2s. Newman still catching Navarro here. The gap was half a second at one stage, and it's going up a little bit, but a little bit of a wide move from Navarro there as they go around Luffield down to Woodcock. I don't think that will help Newman, but well, it won't help him get the position, but it will just help him keep in touch here. Just on the times there, Daniel Croft was fastest last lap with a 1:46.9. Navarro with a 47.3, Newman with a 47.5, so it's interesting to see him still catching on the tail here of Navarro, but that again is our fight. Mayers actually, listen to this, he's gained 4 seconds almost since we watched him make that overtake on car 30 Hilbanov.
So that is an interesting stat, but we're trying to figure out what happened to Jake. He had 2 incidents, 2 off tracks in the previous lap. Oh, is that a hit? Did he hit Josh Mills? I don't think he did. Let's keep an eye on this. This is a replay, by the way. We're replaying what happened to Jake. Let's... Oh, iRacing. You've done it to me now.
I just saw it on the replay. Yeah.
You've done it to me now.
Oh, so that had to be that. So, I mean, you can predict that could be probably something during Village. Might have been something. I don't see any damage on Josh Mills' car. So that's a plus. So we don't have to worry too much about that.
But
They're
yeah,
coming down the hangar straight. Sorry, they're coming down hangar straight on the replay. Let's see now. And they blink again. iRacing, please. As they're coming side by side, Josh Mills and Jake Browning were side by side in Stowe. And it blinked again. I have max cars, iRacing. God damn it.
Why are you doing this to us, iRacing? Why are we not good enough for you? Do we need to make a sacrifice? Oh,
I think
dear.
we do need to. I think we need to make a sacrifice. We need to make a sacrifice to the gods that are iRacing. So, Nimcross
do
Jr.
I need to like suicide? Do I have to suicide jump a car at Bathurst as a sacrifice? Do I?
Why is it always at Bathurst?
It's the only place of a decent jump. Come on.
Well, fair enough.
Okay. This battle with Newman and Navarro. Navarro's made some time up here. Has made some time. Has now got the gap to 0.3 of a second as they come through Stowe. Losing a bit of time right now, but he is doing that good thing. He is doing the good thing. Definitely a good thing if you're right in the slipstream and holding on. He's holding on to that slipstream and just holding and just using that to his advantage. And he is faster. As they're going to cross the line in a minute, I think he's going to be a couple seconds fast, a couple tenths of a second faster here. No, they're equal. 47.7. Might be a small difference. In fact, the small difference was 200th of a second difference. So he does have the speed right here, does Newman. Be interesting when he comes out of Village and Loop. Will he make a move onto the Wellington Straight before Brooklands? I think he's got a chance.
He definitely has a chance on the straights if he can keep the line straight and true through the corners leading onto the straights. He definitely has it. Especially, I would probably say Hangar Straight is probably the better bet over Wellington, because Wellington has a nice deep braking zone and two corners back to back, and it's very hard to make it stick with the LMP2 cars. You can do it with GTE, no problem, but you're basically a mobile chicane to try and keep the position through that section through Brooklands and Luffield.
Or Newman can be like Rick Jonk, can wait for Cops. There's a lap car coming up ahead of him, could go around the outside at Stowe, and then overtake Navarro going into club, just like we saw earlier with Rick Jonk. It's not going to happen, but we can dream. We can see it twice in one race. Actually, I don't think he'll get any move here because the GTE is there. He's going to get a slipstream. In fact, tucks in behind Navarro, so Newman can't even use that suck. Doesn't matter though, he still keeps on track here. So really good time, but here we go. The HPDs are now hitting the GTE traffic. This is where it's going to get interesting because they don't have that power, that acceleration out of the corner that the LMP1s have. So the GTEs are actually going to be faster through the slower corners than the HPDs.
And they're also going to have to contend with the fact that even though they have a bigger engine, it takes a while, as you said, the instant burst of power. As the car number 21, Navarro, he's negotiating with the car number 1, the P1, the pole sitter of the GTEs, who had that accident at the start of the race. Ooh, almost had contact with the Porsche as he passes by him on entry onto Wellington Straight. Tucks it in behind the car number 23 of the RSR. Coming through Luffield now, tries to keep it, swings it wide. Takes a wide line coming onto Woodcut and onto Cops then. Trying to gain as much distance between himself and Newman as possible. There's half a second between the two of them as they negotiate the traffic inside line Navarro takes through Cops. But Navarro is not shaking Newman. He's still right on his tail.
Tell you what, Newman has really gone for some of these corners. His corner at Brooklands was amazing. His corner there coming out of Cops was fantastic. But then he's lost it going through Beckett's and Chapel, sorry. He actually had a chance to get an overtake coming onto the hangar straight, and he just couldn't do it. But he is really attacking these corners well. Might be an issue later in the race, but it's a cold track today. 21 Celsius, that's 17 Fahrenheit. So gonna get held up here when they come into club by the GTE, the number 26 of Bruno Duca.
Navarro will get past him. Will Newman get past him? It's gonna be... No, it's not gonna be close. It's gonna be easy. He's just gonna lose a bit of time because his line's gonna be compromised. Does hold it though. That's good. It's still there. Will he make a move going into Abbey? Decides not. It's the two GTs fighting in front of him. That's Oliver Brandt and Daniel Handover. As they're gonna go... That's Handover going really wide through the loop there. May compromise them. Navarro does get a better line here now. Will these two GTs, yes, the two GTs decide to make a move and go too wide dancing. Does hold up Newman more than anything, but look at this dive into the corner from Newman again. He did this last lap and he just gains. Where he loses from the traffic, he gains with that dive. But he is now compromised.
Well, he does have to make the dive, otherwise he loses the rear end of Avaro, so he needs to keep it up.
Needs to keep it up. Coming round to Abbey now. It's the 0.3 of a second lead here for Navarro. Now 0.4. They are going to get held up by the GT here, Juan Blanat, sorry. As they come into Maggots, you cannot make a move there at the moment. Is he going to go wide? Navarro hesitates. Navarro hesitated. He could have waited and gone around Beckett's here, having to now go around the Chapel. That gives Newman the better line because he has not made a compromise. Navarro goes to the inside. Newman will have to do this around the outside. Lap GTE traffic ahead should not make a difference. Who breaks first? It is neck and neck round the corner. Who's going to stick it? There's a GTE. Navarro's going to have to yield. Navarro's going to have to yield with the GTE. He does not. They are still trying to go side by side. Newman now gets it. And with that GTE, you think that he should hold it now until we get to somewhat like Village. And in fact, actually, Navarro may not even get past his GTE. Navarro's not going to get past the GTE. That's a big move.
He sits behind the GTE coming through Abbey onto Farm, and now it opens up between Newman as another car, the car number 25 GTE Ferrari, is now sandwiched between them in the loop. Let's say have a little blink, but no bother at all. Coming onto Wellington, the gap is now opening up. It's almost a second. Newman needs a second and a half to be clear of the rear, or clear of the front end of Navarro. He needs to break the slipstream cycle.
Oh, sorry. I just saw a moment because I just flipped to the LMP1s and Rick Jonk's in P3. I don't know why. He just overtook Jacobu coming around the loop, and then almost, but he does a Michael Schumacher, Rico Rosberg, and forces Jacobu onto the grass down the Wellington straight. So number one, why is Rick Jonk not in the lead anymore? Number two, what happened between those two to have a fight? And number three, can Benson and Mephi hold on to this?
Ooh, Jacobu had to fight the car onto the grass on the Wellington straight. Rick Jonk is not messing about with this car. He does not want to lose positions.
I would love to see why he is now back in P3, but at the same time, I want to watch this battle because it looks like, oh no, there's a GTE and an HPD, and everybody's all together now, people. Let's have a dance. Everybody's together. Rick John wants to go on the inside. He can't. No. Don't hacking at it. He doesn't. I thought he was going to go for it. Rick John is a man on a mission right now. There's an HPD of Paul Van Loan. And then John Halliwell, then the GT. Halliwell goes off the grass. That is going to be dangerous. They all get by. It's chaos. It is. What has happened? I need to see what's happened to Rick John. But I want to watch this thing go through Village. Jacobu does the defense. You know what? I could watch this all day now. Forget what happened. I'm going to watch this all day.
Forget what happened. I'm going to watch this as the three PCS cars of Jacobu, Jonk.
Oh, whoa. Is he going to make the move? No. Sorry.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Jacobu had to go all the way on the outside of that Ferrari on Wellington Straight. He didn't go on the inside because Rick Jonk was already there. But it's now Benson and Mehi, Jacobu, Jonk, PCS 1, 2, 3. The chat says if they take each other out, you know, the actual Pepe hands are out in the chat.
So I saw what happened to Rick Jonk. I was going to say, I saw what happened to Rick Jonk. Held up in traffic, and Benson Jacobu got past him. And, oh yeah, he got held up even more by GCE coming out Stowe. So that's what happened there. There were no hits or nothing like that. it was Rick for the first time ever that I know of getting held up by lap traffic. Nope, he did not go gun-ho and go past them. He got held up by lap traffic as Josh Mills is in the pits. And out the pits, sorry.
Josh Mills in and out of the pit. That was a 21-second stop according to the stopwatch, the Top Gear stopwatch. Is at a early pit? It would seem so. So Josh Mills is now undercutting to try and gain positions back to, you know, avoid some of the traffic and let the traffic sort of widen out, as it were. It's not the easiest thing at Silverstone, but it can happen. You know, an undercut can happen. As car number 10 is, I think that is the car of Navarro. So Jacobu passing Navarro coming into village. You can see Rick Jonk in the background and Navarro then behind him coming down Wellington Straight. It's now forming a nice conga line, the PCS 123 cars.
Rick Jonk going sideways there and saving it. Just hit the curb a little bit going into Brooklands there and just managed to make the save, but he's lost half a second from that. He will not be happy. That is a man pushing. Because Rick Jonk does not make mistakes like that. Not a lot. Unless he is pushing hard, he does not make those type of mistakes. So, interesting to see. Newman will be ahead of him. He's lost time on his teammates that he may be able to make up in the pit stops. Maybe able to make up with lap traffic. And he's actually getting a bit of a handy moment here as he's met Newman into Beckett's and Chapel. So he's not going to get compromised here. But Nemefi is now in the lead. Nemefi is now in the lead by almost a second, as Jacobu is behind him. But it's quite interesting to see these two, Nemefi and Jacobu, have stayed together, and Rick's just basically just on his own, really.
Yeah, he'll make up the time. He always does. Lars, how are we? How are things? Now, I do want to understand what happened to Quokka. He is out of the race. His car is in the pits. He's parked it. Let's try and see if we can get a replay of that.
Just gonna fast forward and see his final lap, and it's where he's had the damage. It's too late, and I can't see, but he's crabbing it. That's all I know. Is he's done the lap and he's crabbing it. So something happened in the middle of his last lap. He doesn't even finish the last lap. Did he actually lose the car? Yeah, bends the car, gives up. So something happened midway through his last full lap. I'm not sure what.
Oh, he is. He is. There's a damage to the rear left of the car. That's not a happy car. And yes, he is crabbing. There's a visible crabbing on that car. He has damage, and he is out of this fight. Oh yeah, and there he is, parking it on the side of the road and giving up. He parked it into the wall at Cops, for those who want to know.
Jacobu was on a run there and bent, but then all of a sudden, Bruno Juka was on the runoff of Beckett, and I think that actually held up Jacobu. He was a little bit indecisive because, as you can imagine, he didn't know exactly what the GT was going to do, so he was a little bit passive going onto the runoffs, the rumble strips there on the exit of Beckett, so didn't really go far there, so lost a bit of time, and it actually brought in Rick Jonk. So now Rick's back in, almost in slipstream after that. To set the fastest lap of the lead three, actually the fastest lap of everybody so far. Jake Browning at the back here did go purple last lap, but Rick now needs a drive, needs a performance, needs to show why he is one of these top LMP1 drivers at the moment.
Probably say the top LMP1 driver that we see in the broadcasts. Well, I'd like to put my money where my mouth is if I'm wrong, but that's the claim I'm making.
All right, Hugo Preto and Matt J. Farrow, who have been here.
Okay, well, yeah, of course, yeah, okay. But the consistent drivers of the broadcast races would probably be Jung. Like any of the PCS cred, take your pick.
I totally agree. I just want to
we spent so much time at the start of the race talking about these guys, and we haven't really talked about them ever since. The GTEs, Stanley Mitchell, extending his lead a bit here now. It's a 1.5 second lead to John Halliwell. And 2 seconds behind him is Juan Blanett with Nick Bosch just a second and a half behind him. So that's your top 4. Daniel Handover looks like he's got P5. He's just happily there in P5. Dmitry Kopanov has now moved up to P8 in his redemption, but not looking good. He's 24 seconds down. So either he's dealing with some splitter damage, he's dealing with some worn tyres. I'm not entirely sure, or it's just the pace of the field. He's not making up much places here. Not much places? That's not English. He's not picking up many places.
Are you talking about the car number 1 of Kovanov? Or are you talking about...
yeah, the car number 1.
The car number 1? Well, I mean, for coming from first to last and then coming back up to 8th position, that is an achievement in and of itself, especially how demoralizing a spin like that would be, especially when you make it... It's one of the first corners of the race and you make a spin. That is the most demoralizing thing that can have happen to you. It takes some real guts to keep fighting and keep fighting for positions, as he is doing. He's back up to 8th position. He's definitely showing he's got the number 1 badge today. As we have a look around now at the rest of the field, let's see.
There's no battles.
There's
What's going on?
You can always find at least one. I have one. Francisco Javier Gonzalez II. Why does he have 2 Gonzalez? Anyway, Gonzalez II is battling the car number 30, Helebarov, as they come through. Yes, this is Luffield as they come through Luffield. The 2 of them are battling for 6th position. Gonzalez II is just half a second behind his rival, essentially. In this case, he wants that 5th position, or that 6th position. He wants them points.
Is it offensive if I call him G squared?
Yeah, I think that's pretty offensive.
Yeah, alright, I'm not going to. Gonzalez onto Hilbert. I was going to make some really bad jokes, I'm glad. Gonzalez making a move onto Hilbert. Is it Hilbarov? Hilbarov, I'm not entirely sure. Does make a move. Remember, Johan at one stage I think was running P4, but not doing so well at the moment. No, it was P5. Sorry, he only made 1 spot up. Top 4 have basically just blown everybody away. We'll hold on to it at the moment. I love the delivery here from Gonzalez, in all due fairness. Nice and clean and sleek. You don't see a lot of nice HPD liveries nowadays, so it's very nice to see. Will he make a faster lap time here? Let's just keep an eye on the cross there. Actually, both of them go green. Hilbarov with a 48.4, but it's Gonzalez with a 48.2. So really racking up the time here. And also, where's the sun? Because I'm starting to see a lot of clouds in the sky.
Well, isn't this Britain? So, I mean, that's just typical par for the course Britain.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd think, though, that would drop the temperature down. It's still 22 Celsius. So it's 22 Celsius, 71 Fahrenheit at the moment. So the cold tyres, well, not really the cold tyres, but the cold track would affect the tyres to give you a bit more life. And that's probably why we saw earlier Newman really diving it in to the corners. So it will be interesting to see how that pans out. Another battle that was going on. There is a gaggle at the back for 7th, 8th and 9 in the LMPs. Will Lyon and Josh Mills. Both of those guys are pitted. 8th and 9th respectively. In front of them is Max Kronia. Half a second, but at the same time, he is on a... he hasn't pitted yet, and he just decides he's going to put up this little battle here between Hilbauer and Gonzalez, as Gonzalez had actually really got on close there to Hilbauer, but will lose a bit of time there. Kronia does go past him. Lyon will go past him, and actually Josh Mills just decided, I've had enough of this. It's like a cyclist in the peloton that he's had enough and he wants to catch the breakaway group, and he goes, I've had enough of this, and he just boots past both of them, which that was pretty interesting to see. Thanks, Josh, you've ruined my next half a lap. I wanted to talk about that battle.
Well, you can talk about the battle between Lyons and Cronier, but it's already over, as Cronier yielded the position coming into Stone onto Vale. Lyon's taking the outside line into Stowe, coming around the outside, then making it stick through the club section. And now he is trying to keep the toe of our boy Josh Mills, as Rick Junk, I think, is pitting.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Rick Junk is not pitting.
The scoreboard said that he just dropped like 10 positions. Professional.
Oh, your scoreboard's wrong. Your scoreboard is wrong. He's still alive. He is still alive. And Nemefi got a little bit held up by GTE, but everything's okay now. Nothing to panic about. But Rick's on the tail of Yakubu. Will he make another move? There's a GTE in front of them. He won't make a move now. But they'll both get by the GTE. Now, I would love it, just because it's banter between the two teammates, if Yakubu pushes Rick onto the grass. I can't see it, but I would love it.
He's already done it before.
Yeah,
he did it on the Wellington straight.
Yeah, that was Rick doing it to Yakubu. I meant the other way around.
Oh, you wanted Yakubu to push Rick Chunk, the Chunk boy, onto the grass. The Chunk does not like off-road.
He was taking his Joker lap, that was all. But no, actually, Yakubu, once they got onto the Wellington straight, just launched away. And Rick just could not catch up. So, does make me wonder if there's some sort of damage, or is Rick just on a different boost strategy? Because it's interesting to see how he's lost time on that straight. So, let's just watch when they come up to Hangar. I'm curious when they come to Hangar to see if he does lose any more time there. We'll just watch half a second now as they come out of Chapel up to the Hangar straight. They've got clear air. 0.6 of a second. 0.7. Yeah, I think Rick's got some damage, you know. Very interesting that he's not catching Yakubu.
Especially on the slipstream. He might also be fuel saving. Let's see if he dives into the pits this lap. He does not. So, ooh. There might be some there might be some complexion here. I wonder. Yeah, you might be right in your theory, because he was in the slipstream of Yakubu, so he definitely should have been keeping up at the very least and then catching him.
Three of a second difference in the laps. A 40.6 for Yakubu and a 40.9 for Rick. So there might be some damage there, but I can't see where he would have picked it up.
The phantom floor damage strikes again as they come around the loop onto the Wellington Straight. I can safely say that they're probably going to be pitting within the next 2 laps. Ishmael is too nice from our boys in the commentary box. Yeah, Ishmael is way too nice. He wouldn't harm a fly.
Quick update in the HPDs. Daniel Kraft, the leader, and Navarro went into the pits at the same time. Newman is just in the pits, as is Paul Van Loan. So first and third went into one lap, and second and fourth going to another. Let's just keep an eye out. Newman is about to park up. Yep, he's in right now. Where is Navarro? Let's see. Where is Daniel Kraft as well? He is he's at club, sorry. So I think he may get a run here. But I don't think we need to look at the leader at the moment. We need to keep an eye on Navarro and Newman. Can he actually gain that spot back? So, Newman coming out the pits now as Daniel Kraft goes right by him. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7. Gets on the accelerator right now. Just Newman. Where is Navarro? Getting overtaken.
Just through Abbey, he was overtaken by one of the PCS cars. Does he make up the spot, though? He did not.
No, did not make the spot. Actually, I think Daniel lost a bit of time there as well. Daniel Kraft now only 6 seconds ahead of Newman. I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. Daniel's pretty fast today, so can't see that being an issue. But everybody's pitting. I mean, the only person not pitting at the moment is Quintin Vandura. No, he did pit. He's in the pits. Okay. He has pitted. So everybody in the HPD have now pitted. No one in the LMP1s have pitted yet, apart from Josh Mills, Will Lyon, and Jake Browning to start the race, which we still don't know what for. And again, the GTEs, nothing. Stanley Mitchell is a 1.5 seconds ahead of John Halliwell, with one Blanat now just half a second behind Halliwell. So GTEs are starting to shape up nicely, and I say that, and we know what happens every time I say that. One of them's going to get a speeding penalty.
Again.
Yes.
Anderson, we do have the GTE. We have them right here in front of you. Don't worry. We always love our little GTE battles. Though this livery, by the way, is the what's it? The Ferrari F1 livery put onto a GTE Ferrari. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, what, you're on Sandy Mitchell? No, it's a very common livery. I don't want to call out. I'm not going to do an at trading paints or anything like that, but not a lot of Ferrari liveries that aren't red on trading paints.
I mean, they are Italian, so.
I know. I think the only decent livery I've seen on trading paints that isn't red is a black Monster Energy livery. No, not Monster Energy, a black Red Bull livery with Red Bull in silver. That's probably the nicest non-red livery I've seen on Ferrari on trading paints. I'd love something that wasn't red on my Ferrari, I gotta be honest. You look at John Halliwell, he's got an orange version. When did they make an orange version? I don't know, but I like it.
I think the Italians called that a no. But it does fit though. It does fit. He did make it work. It's a nice muted orange as they come through club onto the start finish straight. Car number 3 of Blainat is chasing Halliwell through Abbey and into Farm. He wants to get to second place. Halliwell is 1.3 seconds behind Mitchell. His names make no difference. 1.3 seconds behind Mitchell. So car number 3 has to make it work through the corners. I think that's the best way he'll get the run he needs to make an overtake on one of the straights, be it Wellington Straight or Hangar Straight or the start finish line.
Alright, sorry to cut in, I just want to make a move. Benz Nemefi and Rick Jonk pitted last lap, as well as Ruslan and Phoenix Lee. Now Jakobu comes into the pits, and where is Bence? Bence is not on my map. He is at Beckett's into Maggots, or Maggots into Beckett's. I don't know why I got that wrong. So it's going to be interesting to see. He will not catch Rick Jonk, I don't think. There's a 3-second gap between Bence and Rick. Actually, can you check if there was an extra, a bit longer pit stop time there for Rick, just to see if there was damage? Because it really is weird that he's not been catching. But where is Jakobu? He is finally, because he is at the front, he is right in his pit stall now, as Bence gets hung up to dry and held up to dry as well by some HPDs coming out the start finish straight. Jakobu is now leaving. Actually, this could be a position change right here. 1 second, it could be close. They could be coming out now. Bence is now up to speed. Sorry, Jakobu's up to speed. Bence is now behind him because of that HPD. Could be another HPD holding him up here with Gonzalez. Actually causing a bookmark in between the two of them. Rick is now a 1.5 seconds, but it's Jakobu in the lead from Bence because of the traffic.
Mali, we are now broadcasting on Fridays, so we don't clash with IUMS.
Does not make a move to Bence as he goes into Brooklyn. There's a GT holding him up here. Jakobu would get held up. Bence wants the inside. He wants the inside. Does he touch? That's a close one. Might have had a little touch there of his teammate. But now they go side by side onto the old straight. Coming down now into Cops. He's got the wide line of Mephi, but Jakobu with good defense into Cops. And now going in to the little mini straight here up into Maggot. It's still anyone's game. Jakobu is only 0.2 of a second ahead of Nemefi. Rick is now in the field again. We had a feeling the pit stops might bring them all together. Rick is now almost half a second behind Nemefi. Jakobu needs to make a move here. He is fast on these straights, but Nemefi is faster. Nemefi is catching. Rick Jonk is out of it. It definitely must have damage right here. Nemefi, will he make a move? No. Does not make a move through Stowe, but he is still there. Will he do a Rick Jonk and make a move and dive down into the club section? Does not. So we have a new leader. Jakobu will hold that lead as he crosses the line with 17 minutes left in the race. It's Jakobu, Nemefi, Rick Jonk.
Rick Jonk, by the way, did not have an extended pit stop due to potential damage. If it is damage, he's not able to repair it. But he's now on the rear end of Nemehi, who is on the rear end of Yakubu. So back to the PCS 123 that we had at the start of the race.
When haven't we had a PCS 123? Let's be honest.
Let's put it this way. If this was Group B, this would be the Audis, or the equivalent of the Lancias beating the Audis, where it's just, as Rick Chung lunges, he lunged so deep into, I think that is into Luffield on a GTE. very, he's very forceful with the traffic now. I think he's just trying to get back towards the top step of the LMP1 field, and he's pulling out all the stops to make it happen.
I don't think he's got the time. Let's just see if he actually loses time on Mephi here. We knew he loses time on Yakubu, but Yakubu is fast, and he's not losing time, so it might have just been Yakubu being really fast with his get out there, because he's not losing time to Namefi. It's just really weird though, he was unable to claw back there to Yakubu, but maybe he can catch Namefi. In fact, I think Yakubu's so far ahead now, touch wood, that he's got the lead there, and it's just going to be Bence and Rick fighting, and that will work in Ismail's favour.
I heard the knock on wood, by the way, so we can verify that you did knock on wood. I do want to go back to, by the way, I do want to go back to the GTEs, and we need to give them some more love. But look at the gap, 7 seconds. Sandy Mitchell is all on his own now. Where did the rest of them? Where did the guy that was chasing him go?
One was in the pits. Why did one go in the pits again? I thought he already did his pit stop. That's why. One's done his pit stop.
Sandy Mitchell hasn't.
Halliwell. And so is Halliwell. Yeah, sorry. I wondered what happened. Halliwell did his pit stop 2 laps previous. One's just on his pit stop. Mitchell comes into the pits now. I really need a match. I really need a map when I'm doing this, because I have no idea what's going on every now and then. But the leader, Sandy Mitchell, is in the pits right now.
As is the second place Daniel Handover. They've just both dived into the pits. Question from the booth. Lars Wheel asks, what is the average lap time of these GTEs? It'd be about a 158, 159, including the entire field. The leaders, the top 3, in and around a 158.3.
Yep, that's about the same. Sandy then in the pits. Now he is just coming out of his stall right here. Whereas one, well, he's at club, and he's not going to get held up like we saw with Bence. So this could be interesting right here as he comes in. Mateus Narcisco in front of one does still have to take a pit stop. He cannot finish. He pitted 10 laps ago, so he'll have to take a pit. There's Sandy. Sandy does get ahead of one, but it's only a second gap right now. This is going to be an interesting finish. 13.5 seconds. Narcisco is actually fighting Mitchell here at the same time, and Mayers just decides, hey, do you mind if I come through? Do you mind if I just come through? Yeah, okay, fine. Oh, sorry, you're in a race? Sorry, we're also in a race, because here comes the PCS boys as they all go by. Oh, this is going to be dangerous, and Bence really sends it. Really sends it there, and Rick. Oh, poor Ricky gets held up.
Oh, there's been contact between Narcisco and Mitchell coming through. I need to replay this. Contact between the two of these cars coming through Luffield. Sandy Mitchell tucking in on the inside, and he just drifts out wide and hits Narcisco on his side. There's not too much damage, but there is a bit of damage on the car of Sam Mitchell, and he's now under threat from Blaine.
I think that's a racing incident. I know that Sandy drifted a bit out there, but what room did Narcisco give him? You know what I mean? That to me feels like a racing incident. Narcisco did not give him a lot of room there. Yes, you can argue that Sandy should not have been there. Sandy was the lead guy. It was Narcisco going in front, going there. So, yeah. I think it's going to be a racing incident. That's a racing incident to me. I know Narcisco is a little bit frustrated at that, but that to me is a racing incident.
definitely a racing incident in my opinion. But somehow Sandy's got damage to his right side, despite he hit him on the left side.
I think you might need a. I think you might be looking at the car at the front, by the way, because it is damaged on the left side. Oh, there's a bit of wobble coming into...
I'm definitely seeing a bend. I'm definitely seeing a bend on the right side. As looking from behind. There's definitely a panel not right there.
iRacing giving the phantom damage. But as they came into Village and Mitchell had a bit of a wiggle. He was wiggling under braking. I think the car has a little bit of damage that's not just superficial and not just body parts. I think there might be a little bit of damage on the left side. There was a good bit of contact between himself and Cisco as they come out now through Woodcut onto the old start-finish line onto Cups. He is now being chased by Blena, sticking right to the rear of him throughout the entire course. He has 10 minutes to make an overtake and to make it stick, as Halliwell is now only 2.5 seconds behind Blena. Might be able to bring himself back into the contention for more than just a third place finish. Might be able to take second place if he's able to catch the two of them on the hangar straight now as they come down. Blanet's not going to make a move. He's going to sit behind him. Sitting behind Stan Mitchell, car number 18. Coming through Stowe. Still no eventful happenings here. I think Blanet's kind of content sitting behind Mitchell for the moment. A little bit of sense of urgency because there's only 10 minutes remaining on the clock to make a move. But he has 10 minutes in his hand to make a move. He's got the slipstream he needs to make a move, and if he gets a good run out of any of the corners, especially corners such as the loop, so just past Village onto Aintree, if he gets a good run out of there. Josh Mills in the mix now, the LMP1 overtaking and lapping the car number 3 and 18. No issues at all. As does Will Lyons, he makes an overtake. So, there's not much going on between the 18 and 3 cars as they come down the Wellington Straight. Damage on Mitchell, though. He had a bit of a wiggle. He's gone wide. Oh, he's gone wide, and he's given up the position. No. Blaney went wide on Luffield, whereas Mitchell went wide into Brooklands. Mitchell does eventually lose position. He's now tucking in behind, coming on the inside of Cops. Does not make it stick. He does not make a move in Cops on the inside of Blaynat, but he is now coming through the S's. So, Blaynat's now your new leader. The car number 3 is now your leader coming through Beckett's. Coming through Chapel now. Sorry, going through Beckett's now, and now coming through Chapel as they have traffic. Car number 32. Ooh, Mitchell doing a bit of a squeeze as the car of Gonzalez almost snakes himself into the grass. But Blaynat seems to be holding on to it now. He seems to be holding on to position, or Mitchell's just holding on, biding his time to make a move on a final lap. Let's see how they do it. Let's see. Let's watch this. I'm peaked. I'm excited.
Are you now like where I was earlier? I'm going to watch the PCS. You're like, I'm just going to watch the GTEs.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
There's been intrigue. There's been drama. All the great things you love in a race. It's not been bargy. It's been good, clean racing, except for the incidents, of course. But it's been good, clean racing, and that's what we love to see.
Oh, definitely. And actually, to be fair, he's holding his own, Sandy. He was a second slower that last lap because of what happens. But the lap before, after he had the incident, he was actually equal time with the car number 3, Blaynat. So, be interesting to see what he can do in the straights, because I actually don't think he's lost a lot of time. Okay, his bumper, his hood is a bit crumpled. And if he was in an American car, he wouldn't be able to. Actually,
wait, hang on one second. He is in a left-handed drive, so yes, he would be struggling to see with that bumper up like that. I don't know why I thought an Italian car would have right-handed steering, but whatever. That's the way I go. But having to let a GTE Phoenix lead go there, but we'll get. Ooh, Ella actually might get some slipstream here from the LMP1 there of Lee. Yeah, actually, this might work out for him, and then also the work out for Blanat.
Ooh,
That's not
wiggle.
helping.
A little bit of a wiggle for Mitchell coming out of Chapel. The car does not seem to be completely 100% safe anymore.
I mean, I'd like to see you drive a car that just had some damage because iRacing decided that he needed to hook up with another car for the night. Do you know what I mean? We'll leave it like that.
Single cars meet on iRacing.com. The name of the new site, new dating site.
It wasn't a kiff. It was a full-on hug. Let's be honest. It was a cuddle. It was a cuddle. Right. LMP1s. Yakubu 2 seconds ahead still. Nemefi is holding on to P2 as there's GTE left, right, and centre on the hangar straight here. Half a second lead for Nemefi for P2 against Rick Jonk. The PCS boys again dominating like they always do. But Rick, does he make a move? Cannot make a move this time. I will say that move he made earlier to take the lead though on Yakubu was fantastic, and it's a shame he's not going to reap not going to reap the rewards with a win. He's just going to get a P3, which is a shame really for what he did.
Every 11 minutes a new car falls in love with punting. Thank you very much, Lars.
Oh, did they almost touch?
They did indeed touch. Benson Mahi fending off Rick Junk. Rick Junk is absolutely relentless with his attacks. He's turned the dial up to 11, then smashed it as they go on. He goes on the inside, coming down the Wellington straight into Brooklands. Rick Junk now takes second place away from the Mehi. Rick Junk, as I said just there, ruthless with his dispatchment. And now it is on the shoulders of Nemehi to take back his second place. They might not be able to catch Yakubu, but it's the first of the persons that didn't win, essentially, is what they're trying to go for here. And Jonk is making it known that he intends to take second place.
Let's just watch them right now. There's 4 minutes remaining, so it's a 1 minute 43, 1 minute 42 lap time around here, 41 maybe. So we're going to get 3 more laps here, basically. Nemefi does have to decide he's going to wait there. Do they have identical liveries? Oh, one's got red pinstriping outline on the flames, which is Rick, and Ben's has got white pinstriping on the outlines on the flames. So I think that's how you can tell them apart from a distance. But
and one has the Radion TV logo.
Oh, hang on, does someone have a Radion TV logo?
Benson Nemehi, the car number 8, does on his shark fin.
So is that because? Yeah, I think he basically just wants to give that a thank you for the fact that we got him into the iRacing top 10.
Wait, we did?
I did.
Oh well.
His monster move, remember?
I remember that. Oh, diving onto the inside goes Benson Nemehi. Keep up with Rick
slow. Hang on. Yakubu's lost a second. Did he lose a second through all that traffic? Must have done. It's the only way he could lose time. Got to be, but he is now. Oh, Rick is catching him. No, don't tell me there's going to be a last lap hurrah here. Yakubu must have got held up by traffic. No way he'd be that slow.
Just got held up by traffic going through cops just a little bit, especially on the exit there, but he has a few clean corners now, so he's taking them 1, 2, 3, coming onto Beckett. Exiting Beckett onto Chapel, onto the hangar straight now. 2 minutes remain for the 3 classes. Not Benz. Yakubu flashing his lights coming into Stowe. I'm trying to warn somebody that, yeah, I'm coming by. There's now a gaggle of 2 cars. There's a GTE and an NMP2 blocking Rick Jong from his eyes on the prize. who is Jakobu. And you can see there, Sandy still trying. He's lost a lot of time to the car that overtook him. The car overtaking him being
the number 3 of Juan Blanat, who has a 1.5 second lead. Actually, there is a second difference between Blanat and Mitchell. So John Halliwell had been put back into the fight here. He did at one stage, but now he's defending from Daniel Handover, who is the big gainer today. 8 spots he's made up here through this race. Actually, he's one of 3 Porsches by the looks of it, in this Demon Tweaks livery, which looks really... Wow, we want to talk about the Spanish thing, but that Spanish, almost Spanish colours, yeah, it's really bold colours. I like it. But he is now half a second behind John Halliwell. That's a battle for P3. And it'll be interesting to see with a minute left. So they will be coming to the last lap. Can he make a move? It all comes down to that final hanger straight there before the last lap. Just to keep an idea, give you an update. HPD's pretty stagnant at the moment. Daniel Kraft is 7 seconds ahead of Newman, who himself is way ahead of Navarro. Right, Newman's on the old straight, the old start-finish straight, and Navarro is just coming up to it. That's the gap. So 12 seconds of the line with the gap. So those 3 are pretty much locked in. Let's just keep an eye back on Hanover. Not really making it go there. You look at it, you watch the prototypes. Let's go to the GTEs, and it's so sluggish, and so slow. You forget all about it. So Halliwell may have to fight for his life here to save this. Jakobu, though, is starting the final lap. He is 1.5 seconds ahead of Rick Jonk. He pretty much, I am touching wood again, got this wrapped up.
I've knocked on wood for you, so we're doubly sure that we haven't cursed him. I think this is also one of the first times that PCS have been they've fought. 2 or 3 of them have fought practically over the entire race. The clock has ticked down to 0. Let's see if John can have a final second hurrah, as he is the second and a half as they come through the old section of the racetrack, past left field onto Woodcut, onto the old start-finish line. Rick Jonk is almost 2 seconds behind Jakobu at the moment. So it's looking it's looking less and less likely as the corners go by that he'd be able to make a challenge really for first position. If he had a slipstream down here, I would say he could probably send it as a final attempt really at getting first place into something like club, but he is too far away for that. Jakobu, knocking on wood, will be the race winner, overall race winner, and the race winner for the LMP1 class. Rick Jonk and Ben Stameni will follow them up, so that'll make it a lockout for PCS. Ishmael Jakobu, the car number 10, is your race winner for the P1 class.
With Rick Jonk coming behind, he actually decided he went into really late going into Bell there, thought he'd have a go. He takes P2 with Benson and Mephi in P3, and they have a friendly tap, because why the hell not your teammates? And looks like they're going to do a procession lap, but we still got some racing going on here. Daniel Kraft will come around, Juan Blanat in front of him as well, so the leaders of the GT and the HPD cross the line at the same time. Juan Blanat will take the GTE win. Daniel Kraft, on a league of his own, takes the HPD. Sandy Mitchell takes P2 in the GTE. John Halliwell does take P3. Daniel Hanover just does get P4 over Mateus Narcisco. No, he did have that. Sorry, it was against Halliwell he was fighting, so he does not get that. Stays P4 with Narcisco. Yep, Narcisco taking P3. So we're just waiting now for the HPDs, and they have finished. Newman takes P2, and Navarro takes P3. So I believe that's everybody finished now, and I thought the PCS guys would give us a little bit of a procession, Mercedes style.
To finish us off. I think they did a lap at least.
Nope, they didn't do anything.
Oh. Well, I mean, we're on board with Ishmael Jakobu, and he parks it. Damn it.
They did do a little bit of a drive, and then Rick got bored and just went over and over. And who was that doing a spin? Was that? Oh, Ben's just decided when he came out of Woodcock that he'd do a deja vu.
Nice.
Did he? Yeah. Did a bit of a drag there, and just spun it.
Have the cameras pointed at Ben Semehi. Do you want to go over the P1 results then?
Yeah. So we've got Ismail Yakubu with his first win on a broadcast split, taking the victory. Rick Junk behind him in P2, and Benson Amefi was P3. Outside of that, we look at the rest of the field, which we didn't really talk about. Ruslan Banamivkov took P4, Josh Mills with a P5, Will Lyon in 6th, Phoenix Lieb 7th, Stephen Reginer 8th, Jake Browning 9th, Maximilian Kronia in 10th, and Oliver Quoker, we mentioned, had a crash. He finished at the back. He was 28 laps down from Yakubu.
He was how much down from Yakubu?
28 laps.
He definitely died at the... Let's have a look then at the P2s then. Kraft wins the race. I think that's his first win in the broadcast splits. Newman, the second, 6 seconds behind him. Navarro, 21 seconds. Didn't he start P1?
No, Cross started and led all the way. Navarro was P2 and Newman with P3. So those two, out of the top 5, were the only two that switched positions.
Let's go through the rest then. Paul Van Loan in 4th position, 30 seconds behind the race leader. Jamie Mayers, a good start, you know. Let's see more driving from you, boy. He's in 5th position. Gonzalez with a 104. That's a mouthful. You know. There's mouthfuls.
No.
There's mouthfuls, and then there's that.
Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it.
All right, let me try this. Hang on. Let me try this. Helegork. There we go. Helebrov, who finished a lap down, by the way, in 8th position. And finishing it off, Yandura in 9th and Olsen in 10th position. We'll start with the GTEs. The GTE of Blainat, who had a very nice rally at the end there to take 1st position. Sandy Mitchell, who we followed throughout quite a lot of this race, unfortunately had that accident which damaged his car, and after that he just started falling back. But a very great 2nd position. Hallowell in 3rd position. I know who this is. Sorry, I had to laugh. The broadcast shows it as blank, but it's Daniel Handover. So can you hand over your name, please, so I can actually display it on the screen? Thank you. He's finished in 4th position. Narcisco in 5th position. Bush in 6th. Then moving down to 7th position, Kofanov, who had that spin at the start of the race. By the way, it was the first few corners. He had that big spin. He is finishing in a really respectable position, 7th position. Langerak in 8th position. Kluge following just a few seconds behind in 9th. Brandt in 10th. Skipping on down to Bellens. 11th position, Winter in 12th. Naiminen in 13th. He finished 13 laps down, so I'm assuming he was one of the people who did not finish his race. Juka, 17 laps down. And then you get to Weren, who did not finish this race. Quokka, who we saw before, parked the car and did not finish the race. And Verscher, who also had damage and did not finish the race. So,
you're going to ask my driver of the day.
Yes, I am indeed. PCS
Well,
Rick, by the way, Rick John came into the chat, damaging lap 1, turn 1, Rick,
you are insane. how do you do these things around lap traffic? That's all I'm going to say is you are insane. You're not as insane as the driver of the day, though, who was Juan Blanat. Yes, the winner of the GTEs gets the driver of the day. Why? Because poor one gets hit. I'm watching back the start of the race, and it's more than just, oh, he got hit going through Village. He got tapped before the race even began at Club. He loses it, at Club, gets hit at Club, so he loses 2 spots after taking the lead. He goes into Village and gets punted after seeing the leader go off. He's then down to about P9 after almost getting punted again. So he has to make a way back from about P8 all the way back to the lead. So we talked about how it was really good how Kofanov recovered to a P7, wasn't it? But Blanat...
It was indeed a P7.
Yeah, Blanat came back really after a very topsy-turvy first lap and more. And, good composure. He got pushed off at Village onto the asphalt runoff and came back, took all those places. And you just got to applaud a man when he does something like that, really.
I would applaud the man as well. I definitely would.
Yeah, I think that.
And that's why he's also my driver today. So, driver of the day, Juan Blanat on your screens, the car number 3 in this race. The first victory on the broadcast for him. But Craig, what do we always say at the end of the stream?
Now we're YouTube shillers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Watch us on Sunday, by the way. We are broadcasting the Fanatec GT Challenge on Sunday. So you'll be able to watch...
1945, isn't it?
It is.
1945
GMT. It'll be great. We'll kiss you and wish you very best of Aston Martins, of Cozes, as I called them by accident, but Corvettes and a Ford. We won't mention its name. We won't mention its name. It's cursed. But guys, thank you very much for making it a really enjoyable first broadcast back for season 3. We'll be running for 13 weeks this season because thank you, iRacing. So 13 races of enjoyment and, well, watching us getting corner names wrong. We got them right most of the time.
Got it right today.
Yeah, we got it right most of the time today. So we're learning. But guys, that is it from myself, from Craig. Craig?
Sorry, hello, sorry. I didn't. You wanted me to say goodbye. Sorry. Goodbye.
I'm just like, Craig. Thanks, guys. Take care and enjoy your weekend. And thanks for all the support you've been giving us.